Hey everyone, welcome to my channel about entrepreneurship, mommyhood, and makeup. This is your girl CordnieEllese, and today I have a wonderful subject for you. We will be talking about saving your coins. So, whether or not you're trying to save for the entrepreneurial endeavor, or a vacation, college, a house, a car, some new boots, a bag, whatever it is that you want to save for, you got to have a plan intact. So I have 7 wonderful tips, and I think there are 7 pretty or fairly easy tips to help you save your coin. All right, so let's go and get into it. I do have some notes here, just so you know, so if I'm looking down, it's because I'm referring back to those notes so we don't completely go off the grid. All right, so my very first one is to track your spending. You can do that with an app, you can do that with paper, you can do that by keeping your receipts in your wallet or keeping your receipts at your house. But either way, you need to know what kind of money is coming in, where the money is going when it goes out. Have it separated, your different categories. It needs to be organized. It's very, very easy for us to say, oh, I'm just spending $5 for gas today. It's not going to be that much. Or $15 for gas today. It's not going to be that much. Or whatever. And then you end up spending $300 for gas that much. And that might sound like a lot, but it's not, because I've done it. And gas is no joke nowadays. But with that being said, if you know, okay, I only want to spend $160 per month in gas. There's 4.5 weeks in a month. And everybody says 4 weeks. That's not true. There's 4.5 weeks in a month, unless it's February, and unless it's a February leap year, and then there's 4 weeks in a day. But whatever. It's 4.5 weeks in a month. If you know that all you want to spend is $160, that would only make sense for $40 per week for 4 weeks. So essentially, you really probably need to spend more like $32 per week. If you have a huge truck and you're going all over town in a very big city like Houston, or even in a smaller city like Nashville, that's not going to make a lot of sense. So you would have to figure out where else, in like what other category you can take money out of to a lot more for that one. And that's essentially how it's going to work. If you know that you can only spend $32 to $40 per week, and then you end up spending $50 in 1 week, well, you know, one of those weeks you're going to need to drive a whole lot less. You know, or you're going to need to move money from one category to another category so that you don't over budget yourself or under budget something else. So with that being said, we can get into an entirely different video about budgeting and tracking your spending. If you guys are interested, if y'all want to know more information, then just comment down below. There are plenty of videos on it. I feel like some of them aren't so organized, but if you do want me to go into it, we can, because I can help you save a pretty penny. Been doing it for quite some time. But let's go on and hit the next one. So with that being said, the next one is automatic withdrawals. I think it's super, super important to have your money being automatically withdrawn. Primarily because normally what we see, we use. And that's not very effective when you're trying to save your money. So if you want to save your money easily without really having to think about, oh, you know, I really want to keep it because I plan on doing this, already have it being automatically drafted. For those of you who haven't become entrepreneurials yet, if you have your stuff being direct deposited, which most jobs require you, or at least really, really recommend you to automatically have your funds direct deposited when you get paid, then you can do it one of 2 ways. You could either have it automatically, or 1 of 3 ways, honestly. You could have everything sent to your checking account and then have your checking account automatically drafted on the day that you're set to get paid. Do it the day that you're set to get paid. Don't even do it after, so that way you can't even spend it. Or, that's one way. You could have your money automatically drafted to an entirely different bank, so you don't even look or touch that card or account, which is what I've done. Third choice, you could have everything set up to where you have some go to a checkings account and some just go to your savings account. And then that way it's going to the same bank, but you have it going to that certain savings account at that same bank, so you can kind of see it and, you know, do whatever you will with it. Either way, you want to have it automatically drafted on the day you get paid. Thank you. You can have it done in percentages or a dollar amount. That all depends on you and how much you're trying to get done, what you want to get done. Some people believe in the 10% rule or the 20% rule. I only believe in 10% rule when it comes to tithing. I have a dollar amount that I normally stick to and draft over, and then the rest of it is fair game to go towards the budget. But you want to make sure that whatever it is that you set the standard for withdrawing, you do decide that you're going to have that automatically withdrawn on the day you get paid. Un momento. Okay, so the next one, which pretty much directly relates to that, is you want to save a percentage of your check or a certain dollar amount of your check. But you want to have something that you know consistently, every time you get paid, you're going to save this certain amount. Every single time. It helps with the discipline. It helps you to work towards your goal a whole lot quicker than if you say, oh my gosh, we're just going to do, you know, this, and this. And then you end up not even saving, or just not saving as much as you planned on. You have a clearer plan with that. The fourth one, and this to me is one of the most important ones, is you really need to research your purchases. You need to compare, and then you need to cut costs. As far as research and purchases, I mean everything. You need to research where's the cheapest gas. You know, is it worth going across town to get that cheapest gas? If it's only 3 or 4 or 5 cents, no. I think if it's like 10% or better, yeah, and fill up. Computers especially, phone bills, food, clothes, nails, vacations, other electronics, alcohol, baby items, childcare, everything. You need to research the purchases. You need to see where it costs more, where it's gonna cost less, who has which discounts when. You need to research all that. If you were looking for a house, you wouldn't just, prayerfully, you wouldn't just up and buy the first house you went to. Why? Because that house is going to cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, right? And if you were smart, you would even research the people who's loaning you the money for the house, if you even go that route, right? But you would be an absolute fool to not research and to not actually have a clear cut, unless it just literally fell into your lap and it was the most perfect deal ever. But even still, you want to make sure that you're getting a good deal. You don't want to just say, oh my gosh, this happened just like I thought it would, and then the house right next to it is $100,000 less. That just wouldn't make sense. So you want to research those. Research the different coupons. See if you have anything out there. Before I head to Walmart for one item, oh, best believe I'm checking on my Kroger app to see if there's a digital coupon for a cheaper something at Kroger. Time is money though. If it's only going to be a 10-cent difference, you're not going to drive 15 miles down the road to get to the cheaper item that's 15 cents different than the one that's right across the street. So research your items. Compare which places have what. We have the internet at our disposals. You don't have to drive to each place to even figure all that out. At least not most of the time. You know, you can look at a forum. People will tell you, I know it's going to be cheaper for me to get my vegetables from one grocery store versus another grocery store. So what am I going to do? I plan prior to, and then I research. Then I do my 1 to 2 grocery shops per month, and I go on down the street and go to that one particular grocery store. All right, so that was a very huge one for me. The fifth one, this is also pretty huge. I don't think it's as big as the last one, but sleep on your purchases, even your small purchases. I am the queen of window shopping when it comes to purchases. I will window shop and window shop and window shop. I will look online. I will go in person. I'll say, you know what? I want this. I'll even drive around the store with something in my cart, put it back, go home and sleep on it, and then guess what? If it is meant for me to have it the next day, I will. That's just what it is. Unless the sale ends that day, I'm not really doing it. And I'll keep it in my cart for a long time. Like if the sale ends that day, I'll keep it in my cart for a long time. I'll ponder on it. I never leave the store without trying it on. Like I'll literally think about it. What am I gonna wear this for, you know? What am I gonna put in these bins that I'm trying to buy because they're on sale? You know, don't just buy things that are on sale just because they're on sale. Really think about those purchases, and sometimes you don't have enough time to sleep on it, but you always have time to think about it. If you don't have time to think about it, then you really don't need to make that purchase. And then worst case scenario, which I'm not really a fan of returning things, but if you know their return policy and the sale ends that day, and as long as it's returnable, buy it that day, sleep on it, leave it in the bag, don't take it, don't use it, do not be ratchet. Don't use the product if you might be sending it back. But buy it, put it in a bag, leave it by the door, sleep on it, say, do I really, really need this? And then if you determine yes, okay, then buy it. If you determine no, leave it where you found it. All right, so my next one, cut a bill. All right, this one is really, really huge. Cut a bill. It can be a small bill, it can be a big bill. I'm actually wanting to cut a big bill, but I really don't have a big bill that I can cut just yet. But it would be a housing bill or a car bill or a phone bill, you know, or a grocery bill. But cut a bill. You can cut that bill in, you know, in a third, you can cut it in half, or you can cut it all the way. You can cut it all the way. If you're lucky enough to be able to go and stay with your parents, let's say you're in college, or even if you're older and you're single, or even if you're married, hell, if you have parents that you're cool with like that, I ain't really cool with mine, but if you have parents that you're cool with like that and they're willing to let you stay, one of the best ways to get out of debt is cutting your housing bill and using the money that you would have used for a house to get rid of your debt. If you can do that, do it. If you can get a roommate, do it. It doesn't matter if you're married. If your husband or wife is cool with it, which it does need to be a mutual decision, don't ruin your marriage now by not consulting with the other. Consult with the other. But if your husband or wife or significant other, whoever you're partnered with, whatever, if they're cool with it, then for sure, go get a roommate. Go get a roommate, especially if you have an extra room, get a roommate. Airbnb that extra room. Airbnb your freaking basement, you know, or your living room couch, something. Cut your bill in half. Your phone bill, compare. That's where that research came in before. You can compare. Maybe if you're trying to save $100-something per month and you don't really see where it's going to come from, maybe you need to do Metro PCS instead of AT&T. AT&T is the ball. But maybe you need to do Metro. I don't know. It's not a sponsored video. I'm just saying, you know, so cut a bill. Or maybe, you know, if once you start tracking your spending, all this goes hand in hand. Maybe once you start tracking your spending, you see, oh, you know what? I spend a lot of pointless gas going places. So maybe I can cut my gas. You know, maybe I can cut my clothing bill or my shoe bill or whatever. But cut a bill. Finally, the very last one, which I actually think is very important to saving money. Maybe you can add more money to your portfolio. Maybe you can add more money into your wallet. Find a side gig. Do Airbnb or something. Add more money into your wallet so that you have more money to save. Maybe you budgeted and you tracked your spending and you realize you really don't have anything extra to spend, but maybe, you know, to save, but maybe $5 or $10 per month. Then find a different way to add some money. There's plenty of online ways to make money. There's plenty of in-person ways to make money. I got plenty of different side gigs that I'm currently doing or was doing, you know, in the past, or know people who are doing different things. So if you want a video about that, definitely let me know in the comments below. Like this video. And subscribe if you will, and I'll definitely put that towards it. Actually, you know what? Check this out. If I can get 50 people, being that this is my second video, okay? So I'm just shooting for 50, you know? If I can get 50 people to like this video, I will post a side gig video because I got some side gigs for your behind. But if I can get 50 people to like this video and at least 5 to 10 people, I'll say 5 people to comment and say, hey, we want a side gig video so that we can save more money. Go on and say that for me, you know? Hell, and if I can get 5 people to say that, I'll give you your side gig video. But that concludes my video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Yes, I had to pick up Miss Little Thing. Remember, this is a channel about entrepreneurship, mommyhood, and makeup. And my baby was on the couch and she started whining, so she would not interrupt this video. She's on the lap. But anyway, this is your girl CordnieEllese. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so elated to be doing this with you guys, and I can't wait for more. Let me know what you think. Whatever you want to find out, anything else you want to know, comment below.